Hello everyone and welcome to a Sunday special video. I know I mentioned I was not going to be here, but I figured out it would be a good idea to show my face, and no pun intended. Today we're going to be working on no face. We've been doing this Japanese environment. If you haven't checked it out, make sure to go into the playlist or into the videos that we have here in the channel. We've been working on this Japanese subway, and I thought it would be a great idea to do a realistic take on a no face from Spirited Away. And today we're going to be doing it inside of Zbrush. We're going to do the mask, and later in the next couple of days I'm going to show you how to do the smoke with Bifrost inside of Maya, which is going to be really cool. Now, before we jump into Zbrush, again, today we're going to be working on this guy. I wanted to give you guys a really huge surprise. Today we're going to start with our 90% discount for the next 5 days, so check this out. Hey guys, I'm here with a great deal for all of you. For the next 5 days, we're gonna be offering a 90% discount in all of our Udemy courses. 90%, guys. This is the lowest we can go for our discounts, and you are gonna be learning from industry veterans and experts all of the workflows, techniques, tips, and tricks that you want to become a great 3D artist. We have modeling, we have rigging, we have animation, we have sculpting, we have characters, environment, creatures, a little bit of everything. You can get a 90% discount for the next 5 days if you follow the link down here. All of the courses are recorded in real time, so you're not going to miss any part of the process. They include the project files. We have a support line for questions. You can ask questions on the site and we'll be getting back to you as soon as we can. And yeah, we are also offering a free 30-day money-back policy. So if you buy the course and you don't like it, I don't think it's going to happen. If you don't like it for any reason, you get your money back within 30 days of your purchase. No questions asked. You get your money back. So if you want to learn any 3D skill and you want to start this year strong with really good skills, really good fundamentals, make sure to check the link down here. Hurry up. Remember, this offer is only going to be available for 5 days. So join us and become an amazing 3D artist in no time. So yeah, guys, we've been getting a lot of new people here in the channel. Our subscribers are growing, the likes are growing, the comments are growing, everything is just improving. And we want to thank you guys and want to help you support. We're going to support you to start your 3D career. If you're just a beginner, this is the perfect opportunity to jump into the 3D world and learn about it. We have a lot of courses covering that. And if you're a veteran, this is also a great time to polish your stuff and get even better. So we're going to jump here into Zbrush, and I love Zbrush. It's just such a great software. I started here with a sphere, and I'm going to modify this thing a little bit. I'm going to jump into my move brush, and the first thing I want to do is I want to try to get the proper silhouette for the mask. As you can see, it's a relatively round silhouette on the top right here, but then it goes into this sort of flat effect going here on the underside of the face, something like that. Now, we know from some side views that I have that this is actually hollow on the back part of the sphere. So I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift, and we're going to select this called the knife curve brush. This is one of the newest brushes inside of Zbrush, relatively new, a couple of years maybe. And it's a great tool because, as you can see, it allows us to cut the thing straight away. Look at that, beautiful. So now we have this very cool looking shape. It is already been cut, so we're not hiding anything. We just literally cutted the geometry, which is exactly what we want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Subtool, and I'm going to duplicate this thing. I'm going to push this thing in, and I'm going to make it slightly smaller. I'm going to turn on transparency here for just a little bit to get a proper thickness, which is going to be roughly about there, I would say. And now we're going to use booleans. Booleans are one of those things that are really good, but at the same time they can be really destructive, so you really need to know when to use them. And this is a perfect example of when we can use them, because it's a really simple shape, and we can subtract the shape from the main element right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on live boolean, and this second shape we're going to remove it from the other one, and that's what we're going to get. This is just a preview. Remember, when you're using live booleans, if this is the first time you're using Zbrush, live booleans are just a preview, what we see here. So in order to make this an actual geometry, we need to go down here to the geometry node, and under boolean, on the subtool node, and under boolean, we need to make boolean mesh. This is going to create a new tool over here, and this is the tool that we're going to be using to work with. Now, right now, the boolean makes really horrible geometry, but if we turn Dynamesh on, we're going to get clean geometry, clean sculpting geometry that we can use to generate what we're trying to get, or what we're going to try to get right here. So we now have this thing. It's working quite nice. And what I want to do now is I want to do the eyes and the mouth. And since I don't want to do this double or twice or 3 times, I'm just going to go back to this original one. I'm going to append a new cylinder. I'm going to smooth the cylinder with Ctrl-D. And then I'm gonna move the cylinder to the front, rotate this 90 degrees, and flatten this out a little bit so that we get roughly the sort of like shape that we're going for with the eyes. So something like this. We can of course turn on symmetry and just, especially here on the center, just create a little bit more of like the proper silhouette that we're going for. So kind of want to like push this in a little bit. Now let's really make this small, probably a little bit thicker there. I'm gonna position it where one of the eyes will be. I'm gonna drop a symmetry by pressing X. I'm gonna really make this long so that it's actually going through the whole like thing. And it's really separated, so it's probably gonna be like really close to the side like this. Probably even like a little bit smaller. There we go. That seems about right. And this one's also gonna be removing elements, as you can see right there. And the cool thing about live booleans is that you can actually play with the shape itself and modify things so that you get like the exact shape that you're looking for. So for instance here, I can kind of see that the eye is a little bit too sharp on the side. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit less sharp. Now, since we're gonna go a little bit more realistic, it's not gonna be like an anime-ish thing. I can actually play around with this thing. I'm gonna move this a little bit more to the sideways and then push this thing back there, because I really don't wanna like push the whole thing out. Just get the general shape of the eye, something like that. Even if it's not perfect, we can work with this. There we go. Now that we have this, of course, I'm gonna say C plugin, subtool master, we're gonna do mirror, okay, on the x-axis, and there we go. Now I can definitely see that these things are a little bit too separated. So I'm gonna turn on symmetry again. Let's go C plugin, mirror again. There we go. I'm gonna center the pivot point. There we go. And now we can properly find the exact shape, roughly like there. I also think that the face is a little bit too round, kind of like tapers down a little bit towards the bottom part. So let's play with that taper. Of course, we need to modify the thickness as well on the other Boolean thing that we're doing. Something like that looks appropriate. We can jump to the first one, and just to get a general idea, I'm gonna kind of like draw the icons here, or the little like, just to get an idea if we're getting too close to the proportion. It seems like we are, so I like that. Now I'm gonna append a new cylinder. We're gonna grab that cylinder right there, rotate it to the 90 degrees. By the way, guys, if you haven't seen this movie, this is one of those like masterpieces. I think it won like an Academy Award and everything. So if you're studying anything related to 3D, you definitely need to see this movie. It's that good. Let's push this in. Let's go right there. Now that we have the live boolean, we can start playing around again with the shape of the mouth and the positions. Definitely lower, so I'm gonna just press W and bring this lower, probably a little bit smaller. You can see it kind of lines up with the border of the eyes. That's the kind of stuff that you need to watch out for. It seems to be going a little bit low on the inside like that. So that's, I think, a good representation of what we're going for. The thickness seems to be working fine as well. I'm gonna go to this, guys, because I don't want these parts to be like modifying that. So there we go. Maybe a little bit outer, a little bit lower. He seems to have like a big forehead. And again, these marks are going to be quite important later on when we go into texturing. I just want to do a quick video today, guys. So we're probably just going to be focusing on the sculpting, but we're going to get a nice result. So we're going to go make Boolean mesh now. It's going to be the new Boolean mesh, and now we can dynamesh this. And we're definitely going to dynamesh this a little bit higher. Let's try going to something like a 300 resolution, 320, something like that. There we go. Let's just make sure that we have the proper. Nope, we don't. Let's just. There we go. Dynamesh, or just dynamesh. There we go. So whenever I'm doing wood, I like to bevel the edges of things. So I'm going to use trim dynamic here to bevel some of the parts here for the mask. It doesn't have to be everywhere, but usually wood, you don't get this like super sharp like 90-degree angles, you are gonna get like more commonly, again, this sort of like bevel effects. If you guys have been following my courses, you know I'm a huge fan of the beveling effect. I was heavily influenced by Blizzard from the early like World of Warcraft times, Riot, of course, like all of this sort of like stylized effects I really like. We're gonna go over here, again, beveling the mouth a little bit to create something that looks a little bit rougher, a little bit older, if you wish. And usually when this sort of like masks are built, if you think about like the mask, right, like the green mask guy from Coco Bongo and stuff like that, it's usually made out of what's the word, of several like planks of wood, right? Like it's usually not. It can be a single piece of wood, but it's usually made out of planks of wood, which I think we could benefit from for this particular one. Very important to go to this like outer edge as well, and add a little bit of detail. Again, this is just to add a little bit of visual interest. You usually don't have perfect cuts in the 3D world, or in the real world. Like everything is slightly beveled or slightly used and stuff. There we go. So I'm gonna go with Damien Standard, and I'm gonna see if this sort of like cuts, like wood cuts, make sense. I think they do. They're gonna be really soft though. Like I don't want to go like super deep into the character. So just like one center plank is definitely going to go into the realistic realm. As you can see, like just adding that sort of detail already makes it look a little bit more realistic. And add like a side view right here. Kind of looks like I think it was Toby from Naruto. You guys have seen that one? I didn't see Naruto, but my smaller brother did. So I'm a little bit I know a little bit about the lore of the show. There we go. I'm using Trim Dynamic here. I love Trim Dynamic because it gives this sort of like flat effect, like hammered effect, and it adds a lot of like irregularities to the surface of the object. It makes it look a little bit more natural. So I think it looks really cool. Now I'm gonna use my clay buildup. I'm gonna break symmetry, and I'm gonna start adding some like bigger details, like cracks and damage in certain areas of the wood. So again, it looks like more realistic wood. So I'm taking a lot of artistic liberties here because, of course, the original concept, in this case, this one that we have right there, does not have all of this damages. But by adding this sort of stuff, it makes things look way more interesting. I'm going to use Damien Standard again. I'm going to start adding some very soft lines, very soft like wood grains on the mask. And I kind of want this to look as natural as possible, but at the same time, a little bit stylized still. So, of course, we need to make sure that the grain of the wood is following the proper direction here. And some of you might be wondering, well, why are we not using an alpha? We are. We're going to be using an alpha in just a second. But this like big like lines that I'm adding, these are the sort of lines that I always want to add by hand, because it gives this very unique look. The problem with using alphas or like pre-generated textures and stuff is that if anyone else is using those alphas, then all of the things that we do are going to look very similar. And in a world where everyone is competing, we're all competing against each other, differentiating your work from others is really important. And by doing things by hand, we're going to be able to give that sort of like artisan look to the whole thing a little bit easier. There we go. So I took the chance before starting to record this video to go online and just look for wood alphas. I found some free ones and I loaded them here onto my brush palette. So let me show you real quick. I'm gonna go Lightbox, brushes, and over here I have my wood brushes, and it's this one's right here. You have I have a knot and I have this bark, so I'm gonna use the bark one. And as you can see, it's just an alpha that's a little bit of detail, but this detail that we're adding, as you can see, it really helps to sell the sort of like a wood effect, but it's very soft, right? It's a very soft effect. So all of the lines that I added before are really going to help because I'm adding on top of those lines and we're creating something that's going to look a little bit more unique. So a really cool way to add this sort of detail. Now that we have this, I'm definitely going to go in and be a little bit more aggressive on the original lines that I created. But I'm going to do this without symmetry. And the reason why I want to do it without symmetry is just to generate, again, a little bit more variation and randomness on the whole object. So that way, even though the lines are pretty much going to be symmetrical, the weight of each like depth of the lines and the position of them, it's going to be slightly off, right? Slightly off. Very important to go there inside the mouth. We might not see it even because this mask is going to be really far away from the camera. It's going to be in the middle of the tunnel that we've been modeling in the last couple of days or sessions. But even then, I really want to make sure this thing looks good from afar. And this is one of the things that I tell people about their portfolio reviews. You never know when one piece, even though it's very, very simple on your scene, very like far away and stuff, you never know when one of those pieces is going to be like really visible, or you can actually create like a showcase for that on other parts. Now, I do have some other brushes here. These are very famous orb brushes by, oh, I forgot his name, but you can look them up, like orb brushes. I also have some of those like crack brushes, and I'm just going to add some like damage to the wood, like some pores and stuff, kind of like some sort of like corrosion or termites. And the alphas inside of Zbrush, my friends, are one of the strongest things that you can do, even like this like slashes thing here. Like that looks a little bit more like stone, right? But we can like get away with a little bit of that here and there. Like just very, very simple detail damage. And there we go. If we render this, it's going to be perfectly fine. Of course, we need to do something called retopology, and we need to do something called texturing. But I'm going to stop the video right here, guys. I'm going to do a quick thumbnail for you. And this is just going to be the first part of this like little extra thing that we're going to be adding to our whole subway scene. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you like this, let me know in the comments. Comments are really important for us to know what else to create and what else to upload for you guys. So it's always really, really good to hear from you. Also, make sure to use the code down here, 90% discount, or sometimes it's regional, so it may vary depending on where you are in the world, but we're gonna have the highest discount available for you if you go and check the link down here. That's it, guys. Make sure to leave a like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you back tomorrow for our live stream. Remember, 9 a.m. Mexico time, 8:30 p.m. India time. See you until then. Bye-bye.